computer. Oh, okay, guys. So we are recording. Today is October 24th, and this is Time Management Tips with Alison and Christy. And of course, Dawn is on the Zoom tonight. Yay, Dawn! You succeeded you are a success to the. I feel like we should restart the video. You are a success. You are a. Look, I haven't even drank tonight. You are a success to Time.
Epic problem number one.
Here, it's amazing. So for those of you that are watching this in replay, hopefully this will give you some ideas and tips. Alison and Christy are going to share some tips on time management. So the first thing I want to ask you is your business where you want it to be? You know, maybe it's not, or maybe it is. Maybe it is, and that's awesome. That maybe you have a system in place on time management, and that's why your business is rocking. Or maybe you're just like, ooh, I fly by the seat of my pants. Well, this may help you. And then, are you feeling overwhelmed? I think everybody feels overwhelmed, right? Even I feel overwhelmed all the time. So yes and yes, good. Okay, feel like there isn't enough time in the day. Yes. Hey, Becky. So if you guys are answering yes to any of these questions, you are in the right place. So like I said, we're going to share tips and tricks to time management, and then we will have some question and answer time at the end. So Alison is up first. So Alison, take it away.
Okay. Now, some people,
use your preacher voice, please.
Okay. Now, some people who may not know me have not seen my crazy planner, but here's the front of it. It is an 8.5 by 12 whatever book. It's enormous and huge, but don't knock it till you rock it. So there's that. The first thing that I needed to always do is I'm a visual person, and I also have to be able to, I'm a visual person, and I also remember things by physically writing them down. So digital calendars and that sort of thing doesn't really work for me. I can see how it works for other people, and I can give you some tips on how to make those digital calendars work for you as well. Just hang tight. It's going to change your life. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and this is how I really got control of my calendar. And when I say my calendar, I'm talking about my business calendar and my personal life, because as we're all doing this Pampered Chef business, we're juggling our personal lives and maybe some full-time jobs and then our business lives all in one spot, and it can get very overwhelming. And then what happens when you're overwhelmed? You don't want to do anything. You feel bad about yourself. When you feel bad about yourself, you just don't want to work your business, and then it just kind of spirals downwardly from there, and it's not going to make you any money. That's all I can say. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is create a color-coded system that assigns different parts of your life a color in your calendar, whether it be on a digital version on your phone or in a gigantic teacher planner like what I have. So here, the best way I can explain it is if I actually open this and show you the system. So we have, let me find a good day that kind of gives you the kaleidoscope of what this all entails. So, okay, so this is a good one. So this is middle of September. Okay, so for everything that you guys see here, let me move things out of my way so I don't knock the line on the MacBook. You have blue. That's all the stuff that I have to get done for my family, for my home, for my husband. Pampered Chef is all in green. Any responsibilities I have to take care of for my daughter is in purple. My son is in orange. My personal fun stuff is in pink. That includes my working out, my runs, anything that I have to get done when it comes to going out with girlfriends, because you have a life stick to it. And then I also am a writer as a hobby. So there's that, and that's what I put down in yellow. So everything has its own little color. And the first thing that you're going to do is when you establish what colors you're going to assign to different parts of your life, then you open your calendar to the month. And then the first thing you're going to do is take your family colors, and you're going to write down all of the responsibilities and appointments that happen for your family. I have blue is my husband's work schedule, orange is where my son needs to be, purple is when my daughter has dance class in school and strange pickup hours. So the thing is, I can write down all the colors in the rainbow on my calendar, but if I don't stick to putting these appointments down and sticking to the calendar and sticking to these appointments on my calendar, this is a big fat waste of time. End of story. So again, write down all your appointments and the major things to remember for your family first. Then you're going to identify the days that you're going to hold your shows, put them down in green, mark them in green. I use green because green means money. And that makes, again, the color coding system is going to help your brain compartmentalize where it's supposed to be and when, so that you know, okay, October 11th at 2 o'clock is green. I have to be working on Pampered Chef at that point. So it puts a color in your head, it puts a visual signal into your brain, and it trains your brain to be productive. So then, yes, all of the days that you're going to hold your shows have green stars. Write your host names and times of the shows in green on your designated dates. If you're going to schedule office hours in your day, put them in green, because that means that you're working on your business. But the other thing you have to remember is to schedule time in your month and in your weekly schedules for your fun stuff and your hobbies. You can't work yourself to death, or else you're going to work yourself to death. And that's really not the whole point of running your own business and taking control of your life and all of this wonderful things that Pampered Chef has to offer us. So with that being in mind, again, so scheduling stuff with your own schedules and your fun and hobbies, that prevents you just from losing your mind and going insane and needing medication. So then you're going to open your calendar to the weekly view. And so here we go. This is my weekly view on here. And you're going to, again, do the same thing. Jot down all of your family appointments, kids, responsibilities, all that first, because that's going to give you a map, and you're going to be able to take a step back and look at it and see where your pockets of time are to put your green. If you don't have enough green in your calendar, you're not going to have enough green in your bank. End of story. Mic drop. I just came up with that off the top of my head. This is why I was a good wedding officiant. So, okay, so then you're going to fill in the gaps of your schedule with your must-get-done tasks for the day and the color for that task. I know Christy's going to talk about a dump list, so she'll talk about prioritizing all of the things that are going to go into your green windows on your calendar. So, for instance, here's an example of what my day looked like in the color-coded life. This morning I woke up at 6:15. My time was pink. That was my time to have some coffee. I went for a little bit of a run on my treadmill to wake myself up. And then boom, it was family time. I had to get the kids up and ready for school, get them moving, because I was by myself with the kids, husband's at work. So I had dropped off the kids, and then in my head, now my daughter's at school for 3 hours, but that really only means I have about 2 hours to work my business. So I got home. My hosts for the week were my priority number one. I made sure that I spent as much time as I possibly could in the 2 hours I had to work my business this morning by reaching out to my hosts and making sure that they had everything that they needed to make sure that those parties, by the time I close them for the end of this week, are going to be successful. That's my priority number one. That was my green because that's the green I needed in my bank account today. My next list was to work on my cooking show bookings. I only had 15 minutes. That's not a lot of time to make any phone calls, and especially when I didn't even know a good, decent list of who I was organized, of who I was going to call. So I took that 15 minutes and I jotted down their names, and those are the people I'm going to send text messages to at 9 p.m. tonight because that's when I'm working my business. Now, that again, I only had that 2 hours. I had 15 minutes to get the dog in the crate, get my crap together, and get my butt down the dirt road to pick the daughter up for school. So then now again, the reason that I say it sounds like I have 3 hours in my head, but I actually don't. It's because we always assume that we have a lot more time to plan things than we actually do. It's a psychological term called a planning fallacy. You're always going to make mistakes in your planning because you think that you have more time to do things than you actually do. So what you're going to do is think of 100% of what you want to accomplish in a day, cut it by 2/3, and that's what you're actually going to accomplish. And don't stress if you can't accomplish 100%. You are a person, you are a human being. You're not a robot, and you're not meant to always go at 100% battery, just like your phone. You're going to die. So that's pretty much a lot of what I have to say. Make sure that you're doing this consistently. Mic drops, it's just coming out. This is why I drink wine.
I don't know.
The other thing that I have to recommend for you guys to do is to eliminate distractions during the time that you're working, because if you're distracted while you're working, you're not making the most out of those if you have 2 hours to get things done, you have 2 hours to get a lot of stuff done. You have no time to be distracted by your phone, by your email, by anything, especially your stupid your Facebook news feed. Think of how often you're aimlessly scrolling through your feed and getting wrapped up in stupid political conversations or stupid parenting conversations, or, oh my God, look who had a baby. Oh my God, look who got fat from high school. These are the things that you don't need to be paying attention to while you're working your business. It's not making you money. So you're going to eliminate distraction during your work hours. Think about it this way. Would your boss be at work, be happy if they saw that you were spending an hour of your time on Facebook? In fact, my brother is a business owner. He just fired 2 employees because he found that they were doing that while he was not in the office. So if you're don't get yourself fired from Pampered Chef. Not that you could fire yourself. That's how you're going to fire yourself. Anyway, being your boss sometimes means you have to be your own boss. So Facebook's a huge time waster. You're going to go into Google, whatever browser that you use for your internet, whether it be Safari, Firefox, Chrome, Explorer, whatever floats your boat. You're going to Google Facebook newsfeed eradicator. I can put it into the chat how to spell eradicator, or your web browser. So when I was looking for mine, I put Facebook newsfeed eradicator for Safari. And it's a little extension. You just hit install. And then when that extension is plugged on, it's going to erase your Facebook newsfeed from the Facebook web page when you pull it up. So that when you pull up Facebook, all you see is just a space for you to put your status. It's like it has your columns for chat, it has your events and all that stuff, but your news feed's not in front of you. So you can't sit here and get involved into the custody dispute between Bebbity Boop and Bobbity Boop in your Facebook news feed. You're not going to pay attention to it. You're going to pay attention to your business. You can turn the extension off and on through your browser's preferences so that if you're sitting at your computer and you're not working on Pampered Chef, you can still see your newsfeed. But I promise you, you're going to be more amazed at how much more focused you are when you eliminate that distraction from your life. And you'll actually be a lot happier not watching that banana whatever Facebook has become lately. Finally, creating a task list and a phone alarm. Christy's going to talk about a dump list. Prioritize your list, assign everything to 15, 20-minute intervals, and get as much done, bust it out as much as you possibly can. And you'll be amazed at how much you can get accomplished if you just sit down and focus. So that's all I got because I have to go hop on to a Facebook Live veggie demonstration. So
I appreciate
I don't
it.
have anything. I'm sorry that I rambled, but I hope I was helpful.
Okay. It's okay. Good job. If you guys have any questions, hopefully I can answer them if Alison has to get off. But we're going to let Christy just jump on in, and she's going to share her bits. And
yay, me. Now I have to follow Preacher Lemon.
Oh my God, we're totally getting her a shirt for Christmas.
Great. I am not as eloquent as Sister Lemon.
I mean, it just keeps going. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Bye, Alison. So what are some time wasters? Instant messaging, email, Facebook, the TV. If you don't know where your time is going, track it. Write down every single thing that you do in a day and how long you do it. Track this for a couple of days and you will figure out exactly what your time wasters are. Multitasking. Everyone likes to think that they're great at it, but there's a limit to how many things you can do before it takes away from the quality of your work. We need to figure out how to concentrate. So let's start off by decluttering your desk. Having a clean desk clears your mind and increases productivity. Clutter is distracting. It will take you longer to find something you need when it's buried under other stuff. So start off by cleaning your space, your desk space, and your computer space. Now, let's talk about self-management. 7 tips for self-management. 1, write it down. Planning is a predetermined course of events in writing. Writing it down prevents you from getting distracted. If you do have an interruption, you can get right back to work. What would you guess is the percentage of people who start their day with a written plan? Only 13%. It takes a typical person 18 to 23 minutes to recover from a distraction, plus the time it takes to cover the distraction. So plan for a crisis. This is what Alison was talking about. We live in the real world. In other words, leave 20% of your day with some wiggle room. Don't schedule every minute of every day. Give yourself about 10 minutes every hour unscheduled. It's hard to do. You know how it goes, though. The dog gets out, the baby throws up, or you burn dinner. That would be me. Take 15 minutes a day to plan your day. Are you willing to take 1% of your day to take control of the other 99%? When you schedule an event, calendar the activity. This is what Alison was talking about too. For example, if I book a show for Tuesday, I schedule 30 minutes on Wednesday to do my morning after calls and 30 minutes to finalize and submit that show. I also schedule my 3 host coaching contacts the 2 weeks prior by writing my host's initials and host coaching 1, host coaching 2, and host coaching 3. Schedule your activities. The goal is to focus on being effective, not just efficient. Spend most of your time in the important and the non-urgent category. This goes back to the multitasking. Do one thing well, not a lot of things just okay. Use time blocking for things that must get done. This is when you block time on your calendar and do nothing else but this activity. For example, plan your meetings, your date nights, your time with your kids, etc. This is also effective for things that are taking too much time. For example, Facebook and email. Set a block of time for that activity, and then when the timer goes off, you're done. Stop doing that and move on to the next task. Nighterize, also known as a brain dump. The goal here is to create a task list each night that is achievable. Only 3 to 4 business tasks and 3 to 4 personal tasks each day. For great time management tips, I recommend Procrastinate on Purpose by Rory Vaden. He uses the focus funnel for tasks. Imagine a funnel. Your tasks go in the top, and then you have to decide 3 things. What are you going to, number 1, eliminate? Can I live without it? For example, binge watching TV, you can live without it. Driving the kids to soccer or school every single day, you can eliminate this task by finding another parent to share the responsibility. You take 1 week and they take the next week. Automate. Can this task be systematic? This can be something like using Post My Party, Visibly, or Sent Share to post in your VIP page in your virtual party. Delegate. Can it be done by someone else? Hire someone to stamp your catalogs, write your thank you notes, write your Christmas cards, and make your host boxes. With tasks that come out the bottom of the funnel, ask yourself, can this wait until later? If yes, then procrastinate, and it goes back into the funnel. If the answer is no, concentrate on it and do it. And that's it.
So good. Oh my gosh. I need to read that book again. I totally have it too. So I need to read it again. What a great reminder. But
yes.
Oh my gosh, so many great things. Let me go back to my notes here. I lost them. Hold on, here they are. Okay. So, oh my gosh, what a great, did you guys, was that helpful? What is the name of the book? Procrastinate on Purpose by Rory Vaden. He was at conference a couple years ago. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, right? Yeah.
Right. It's RORYVADEN.
Yeah. I have it right here. Hold on, I'm going to get it for you.
He has some awesome little inspirational things, inspirational posts.
Yeah, if you want, follow him on Facebook. But here's his book. Move this back to the gallery view. There we go. Yeah, Procrastinate on Purpose, Rory Vaden. He has another one, Take the Stairs. He, he's the one that says, oh my gosh, what is it?
In the absence of a clearly defined plan, we become strangely loyal to performing daily acts of trivia.
No, what's the one? Oh my gosh, our business. No.
Success.
No. The one, it's rented.
Yes, success is never owned. It is only rented, and the rent is due every day.
Every day. That is such a good one.
I like that one too. Okay, there's one more I want to say. There is no such thing as time management. There is only self-management.
Yes. And what Alison said too, I think, both of you kind of hit the nail on the head, but we think that we are multitasking when in fact we are not. Something is definitely always taking the back seat. So anywho, I do have an action plan for you guys. There's a recording. I'm going to post it in the event, but it's called Beat the Clock. And it was actually a recorded workshop from 2 years ago from Chantel Gossett. I almost said Chantel Ray. Sorry. Chantel Gossett and Melissa Wedman. Get practical solutions for working your Pamper Chef business alongside another job, kids' activities, and other commitments. So I'm going to post that MP3 on the event page. So I'll post that after this. So I definitely recommend just downloading that to your phone, or you could click on that link when you're in the car or at lunch or running to the grocery store or whatever. You could click on it and it'll play right through your phone. Okay. You don't have to call in or anything. It's just a recording. It'll start playing. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Let me check the chat feature over here. Dawn wants to know what kind of pens. Dawn, I would just message Alison. I'm sure she'll take a million pictures for you. Oh, and there's that. Yeah. I mean, highlighters are amazing too. But you really want to, the first thing you do for your calendar is figure out what is already taken up your time. Shows are prime real estate, but your family is first. You have to put all of that on your calendar and then take a look at the rest of your week or the rest of your month and figure out when you can actually work. And that is when you highlight. But I think we posted a picture. It says, failing to plan is planning to fail. If you don't have a plan in place, it's not going to happen. I always joke, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't get done. But it's the truth, because there's so many things going in and out of our head every single day. There's no way we could remember everything. So if it's on your calendar and you have a reminder set to it, I think somebody was going to talk about that too, but I think Alison missed that one. Setting a timer on your tasks. So if you want to maybe 15, so we talked about maybe breaking up maybe the power hour into 15 minutes and setting like 15 minutes in the morning, maybe 15 minutes at lunch, and maybe 15 minutes on your way home, and then maybe 15 minutes right before you go to bed. Maybe that's when you work your business. Like, you have to try to figure out different pockets of time to make things happen. Like, I made all my customer care calls on the way home from work when I worked full time. So I had like a 25-minute window that I had a list of who I needed to call, and I had them already programmed into my phone, and I would just hit their numbers, and then I would call them on the way home, so I didn't even have to think about it. But it's just about planning those things. So with that, does anybody have any questions? I can go on for hours. No? So what do you guys feel like maybe the biggest, I know it's already 8:30, but what do you feel like the biggest struggle is right now with time management? Anybody want to share?
Facebook for me. I'm going to do that download she was talking about. The news feed is such a distraction.
Yeah, all those notifications that pop up. I mean, and I know it's hard. But it does take discipline too. If you don't want to download that thing, it just takes discipline. Like, just like when I want to eat that brownie. It takes some discipline. Dawn's typing, so I'm going to wait. And I thought it was going to be fall. It's like 80,000 degrees outside. I have to get back on a schedule. Working at the school has really thrown me off my game. Yeah, but you know what, Dawn? The first step to that is you realizing that you have to get back on your schedule.
Admit that you have a problem.
I mean, girl, we all struggle with time, I'm telling you. But maybe, so Allison's calendar didn't get that way overnight. I think what she told me was maybe she sits at her desk, you know, she sets a planning day or a planning time frame. So maybe that's the first thing you put on your calendar is a time.
Look, I don't think they start out that way. I don't have the color coding, but I have the green circles and the red. I have green and red.
I'll show you.
Go and stop. Business time and non-business time.
I mean, everything is on my virtual calendar. I use my calendar because it syncs to everything, and I set an alert on everything. But this is like my party calendar. Mm-hmm. So like this is the one I pass around, and I just circle the days that I can work, and those are the days I book. But like if I don't do that, I know that looks like a hot mess, but like
you have to start somewhere.
Yeah. You
just jump in and try something.
Yeah, but like maybe set up a time for 20 minutes to get your calendar straight. So, you know, it's like anything else. When you want to start something new, like everything we learned at the retreat, like I said, when you got home, you have to like set a time to actually implement those things. So like, it's just like that with your calendar. You have to set a time, and as soon as you start to do it over and over and over, like I think they say after you do it 17 times, it's a habit. So if you do it 17 weeks in a row, let's say every Sunday you take 30 minutes and plan your week. And you know, that's another good book, that one that I posted about that I read on my vacation. But it's all about planning your week. So like you plan your week and what does it look like? And you plan your meals for your family, what you're going to cook each night. Like, so then it's like a no-brainer. Then you're just like following the plan that you set. And it's not like a guessing game every day. Okay, what's for dinner? Or what do I have to do tonight? Because by the time you figure out what you have to do, you're done. You're like, okay, forget it. I'm done. I'm going to go to bed. Like, you know, you have to plan that time. So when you get into your office, you have a list of things you have to do. Like I constantly have my notebook full of things that I have to do. And every time I'm in my office, I'm marking things off. Yay, Dawn! Yes, I'm marking, and I have 2 notebooks actually.
3.
One is for director stuff and one is for my personal business. But I will say, I know we all have notebooks, lists. I'm turning into my mother. But I will say this. Oh shoot, it went out of my head so fast I forgot it now. Oh my gosh. Notebooks and notebooks.
While you're thinking about it, I'm going to say that setting the alarms, I do put things in my calendar on my phone and set alarms for myself. I have alarms going off all day long, and I may not remember what they're for, but they pop up and I can move on to whatever I'm supposed to be doing.
Sorry, I was just checking our virtual opportunity event that started 6 minutes ago. Sorry about that. Lists of lists. I was going to say something else. I don't remember. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, so anybody else have any questions? I think we're good. I hope this helped. Did this help at all? Yeah, good. I can't see Becky or Jen.
Everything's disappeared.
No, it's okay. I'm going to turn off the recording. Oh, maybe.